story, we take you just outside
Hey,
of...
hold on, I just have to correct this woman, and I'm gonna send them an email. The United States went to the moon, there were people who walked on the moon more than once or twice, I think there were 3. There was one that didn't land. Have you ever watched the movie Apollo 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want a good movie, Apollo 13.
I love that movie.
It's about one.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, one shot to the moon where that's what they used to call them, moon shots, where they ran into a problem. Something broke off of the side of the yeah, I forget what it was, but shooting off those rockets is an extremely violent and highly dangerous job. But first, when we first sent men to the moon, we had computers. The computers they used would go along that wall from floor to ceiling, and you have more power in your cell phone than we had.
I know, it's crazy. Technology's advanced that quickly. Crazy.
If you have seen Hidden Figures,
I saw that one too.
there were people who were calculating the math for all of these kinds of, missions where they're drawing, yeah, like that, you know what I mean? Like, how are we gonna get there? Well, the gravity here is such so that it's gonna pull you, how much do we need, when do we need to fire the engines, all of that. So we did, just so you know, we did that with paper and pencil for the first, I don't know, for the first 40 years, pretty much. So, don't say we haven't. We can do other stuff. You can go to
For
Mars.
a really precise target. For our next story, we take you just outside of Hong Kong, where a photographer found a way to showcase the beauty of nature that's often concealed during the day. Our Christine Stouts got the flashlight to her head and went on a nighttime trek in the wilderness to hunt for critters that coexist in the midst of the massive city nearby.
Every night, Hong Kong's iconic skyline stars in its own show. A spectacle of lasers and steel in one of the most densely populated places on Earth.
Looks awful.
Less than 20 kilometers away, another curtain opens to reveal a natural world often forgotten in the dark. We're in Xingmen Country Park. In the daytime, this is an area very popular for hikers, but at nighttime, that's when the creatures come out. What are you hoping we'll find tonight?
I'm hoping to find a couple of snakes and any other aquatic creatures.
Leading our nocturnal safari, Hong Kong British educator and photographer Lawrence Hilton. In the darkness of night, Hilton has captured images of birds like this quizzical colored stuffed owl, insects like the Atlas moth, and snakes like this white-lipped pit viper.
My favourite are snakes and spiders. However, I try and go for anything that I can get my camera up against.
Hilton says he photographs the animals as he encounters them with minimal impact to them or the environment. So are we on the screen?
Yeah, we are.
And looking for snakes one. Wandering past water buffalo at rest, we encounter Morton Newt at play. Oh yes, I bet. Hear them. A huntsman spider shows off its mysterious beauty
Wow.
as a monkey watches from above. It takes patience and a passion for every creature, big and small.
Interesting.
Trekking in the dark is not easy. You have to watch and feed. And always keep your eyes open.
We have relatively pristine streamways, which is quite rare for Hong Kong. Also, it's far away enough from civilization that wildlife can live without too much disturbance of us.
Hong Kong is home to an astonishing array of wildlife, with many creatures emerging only at night. Some 40% of the territory is protected parkland.
Wow.
But here and around the world, poaching and urbanization are destroying safe havens.
We have lost on average almost 70% of our wildlife populations since the 1970s. And that by doing too well protecting the planet globally.
At the end of this century, it's estimated up to 33 million hectares of natural habitat will be lost as a result of urban development. That's more than the size of the U.S. state of New Mexico. Lauren says his mission is to promote conservation through photography.
We have lots of trekkers who visit this area, and fear of snakes and fear of the unknown makes people do silly things. And hopefully someday in the future, everyone can enjoy nature.
Near midnight, we spot a rare clutching wolf snake. Non-venomous, nocturnal, and extremely rare in Hong Kong. Bearing witness to the richness of nature in the backyard of a global metropolis.
Pop quiz hot shot. Which of these legendary artists was a feature member of the group of musicians and actors known as the Rat Pack? Tony
How
Bennett,
would we
Bing
know
Crosby,
that?
Frank Sinatra, or Elvis Presley?
Brag.
Oh, hold on.
That was brag.
Congrats! If you said Frank Sinatra, then
Yeah, I
you said
totally was gonna say that. Oh my god.
How
do you know who that is?
Singer. Artist. 10 out of 10, yeah, that's me.
Alright, sweetheart, I don't mean to be cheesy, but today's story getting a 10 out of 10 is pretty remarkable. Jeannie Mo takes us to Chicago, where a hole in the ground is raising a whole lot of questions.
Haha, funny.
New York, with your bagel-loving rap, a long-going Chicago rap is making a deep impression thanks to artist Winslow Dumaine.
They're starting to call me Rat Hole Guy, so.
In early January, a friend told Winslow about the rap imprint on Chicago's north side. His reaction?
Did he
Immediate laughter.
get stuck in the cement? What happened?
Posting his photo, and now people are making pilgrimages to the imprint, posing, leaving money and flowers.
Leaving money? That's a
Wow.
stupid thing to do.
Residents say the rap hole has been around for more than 20 years. But is it a rap?
Okay, it's probably a squirrel. It has like the wide hips and the long claws of a squirrel.
Whatever it was, one state representative is touting it as the jewel of the 11th district of the Chicago rap. But everyone is wondering, did he, get out? Optimists say he could see paw prints.
Leading away from
He
the
died on
rat
impact.
hole.
He's hiding.
From the Wile E. Coyote of Chicago. Let's let the leader of the Rat Pack salute the city's latest tourist attraction.
This is Chicago, bro.
Alright, this rat hole is credited with bringing the whole community together. Winslow Dumaine, who's
Bro, people are proposing them. God dang.
At the rat hole. Thanks to
What is so
everyone who
special
got
about a
on
rat
social media
hole?
this weekend at Coy Wire, and to all of
Okay,
I would say
any of you,
I had the most
I hear any of you
confusing.
propose to someone at a place like the Rat Hole, I'm gonna be coming after you.
yeah. I would have said no.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
Whoa.
Anybody watch football yesterday? Good game.
I don't watch football because I don't have a TV in my dorm. Wish I did. That'd be kind of nice.
You don't have a TV in your dorm?
Nope.
Come on.
Because I'm broke.
Oh.
If they paid me consistently, I might actually buy a TV. But they haven't paid me since I got here.
How long's that been?
A month. But people are saying, "Oh, Alex, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna get paid like next week. They'll pay you normally." I'm like, "Okay," so I go along with the flow, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "The hell."
So, one thing that I did hear was, DeSantis dropped out of the,
No,
Republican.
what?
Yeah, he just dropped out and now he's endorsing Trump.
How old
So
are
it's
you?
a two-person race for
21.
the
Why don't
Republicans,
you just get a job?
Haley and Trump.
Why don't you just get a job? They give you like $40 in 2 weeks.
What's that?
It's awesome. I love that.
I gotta tell you,
Listen,
I
huh?
really don't know. I like Haley a lot. She has great foreign
Wait, what are we talking
experience,
about now?
But she said a couple of things that
Bitches, they come, they go. Monday through Tuesday, Saturday through Sunday,
So,
Monday through Sunday,
she
you know?
was saying, she's from South Carolina, and they treat the Civil War very differently in their history books down there. And so, to them, it was about states' rights. Well, it was about states' rights to determine whether you could enslave people or not. So
Illuminati.
somebody asked her, in the
Illuminati.
middle of all these questions about, world
Illuminati.
policy and economic policy, and what are you gonna do? Somebody said, what was the cause of the Civil War?
Capitalism.
Turned around and started to, exactly, that's what her answer was.
She did capital.
Her answer was there were two competing economic systems. In the
Yeah.
North
I don't
and
even
in
know
the
what we're
South.
talking about right now.
The North had all the resources to industrialize, and so our portion of the country was industrialized and making money, whereas the South was still agrarian. They were mostly farming, and so they had grown up. They didn't pay their slaves. They couldn't possibly become rich and wealthy if they had to pay people to do the work. So it really was about slavery, but she hadn't gotten to there yet, I think, before they jumped on her. It's about slavery. And I would have just thought that she would have been better prepared, for that. And then she said something about the other day how,
Dang, I'm cold.
we are not a racist society. We have no racism, and
We still have slaves.
it was like
Slaves still exist in this world.
they
America.
exist all over the world.
Yeah, so.
But I don't think you can say that we're not a racist country. I mean,
That's true.
given the last 5 years of what's been on the news, I think she would have had something really, I wish she had had something really, good to say, positive to say, like, yeah, this has been really shocking, all of the things, but, hopeful that we're more aware of it and we can, work towards blah, blah, blah. So those kind of things really just kind of made me a little uncomfortable. Under no circumstances will I ever vote for Donald Trump. If you held a gun to my head, I would say no. To my hand, I would say, if they said, check off Trump or we'll shoot you in the hand, I would say no, shoot. So anyways, so the New Hampshire primary, if you're watching news, anytime today or tomorrow or Wednesday, it's gonna all be about the Republican primary here in New Hampshire. We have correctly predicted the winner of the nominations and the winner of the future race
Ooh.
more than any other state.
New Hampshire got their act together. I like that.
Well, New Hampshire takes their politics seriously. We are so distrustful of government that our governor has to run for office every 2 years. Most governors serve 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's how we set our state charter.
You know what I just realized?
Oh, what? What's wrong now?
It's how the state's like upside down.
The what?
You, New Hampshire and Vermont. New Hampshire's just upside down.
Yeah, congratulations. You just noticed that?
Yeah.
God. Oh my God. Death Valley National Park. Let's go there on Google Earth.
Let's not go to Death Valley.
I would love to go there. Let's see how far
So
away
this
Death
is a
Valley
little,
is.
this is a very brief
I just
segment
wanna go
about
see.
something that's happening in Ukraine.
Oh, I love Ukraine.
Yeah, the war in Ukraine, everybody's
I was
familiar
born
with
in
that?
Ukraine. What?
Lindsay, can you show us Russia and the Ukraine? So take a look at the size of Russia. That big
Russia is the
yellow map.
biggest continent
Right.
in the
really?
world.
So is Ukraine. See the little orange?
Right next to
Take a look at how small that is. next to Russia, right?
But like half of that place is actually populated. The other half is just mountains and terrain,
Right.
and nobody wants to live on.
Tundra. But,
Tundra.
When they went in, I mean, we've been preparing for war against, you know, the Russians for 60 years, since the end of World War II,
Yeah.
you know? And, they went into the Ukraine and we were like, oh man, that'll be over by lunch, you know? And it's now 2 years.
The hell are
they've
they
been
doing?
fighting.
Is
So,
he-
and
what
the
that is?
Ukrainians
What's
are
this?
still persevering.
Can't get it out. Ugh, there you go.
Oh, there it is.
Do you have another one?
I talked about how.
I don't. I can't share.
Russia now has the same problem, except this time, Ukraine now has drones and some missiles that they're using to great effect inside of Russian territory. So it's forcing Russia to reconsider where they're placing their air defense, and instead of getting hit in the rear areas like they were several times today in St. Petersburg, Russia. That's fascinating to me how Ukraine is taking the fight to the rear areas like right now.
Yeah, a Ukrainian defense source tells CNN that they have carried out a drone attack on a Russian oil terminal on the Gulf of Finland.
Wow.
The source called it a new stage targeting military facilities and oil depots. What's your assessment of that? And I guess how does it fit into the overall picture? Because, you know, maybe...
I just want you to take a look at these flames. So this is an oil and gas depot for the Russian army. We're talking about some serious flame. I mean, this is like structures were melted with flames like this, you know?
Because, you know, maybe you and I were talking about this earlier this past week. But
Who's paying for the
one man
damages?
report about commanders in
What's
Ukraine.
that?
Who's paying for the damage in the war? Like, does anyone
Who's
pay?
paying for it?
Yeah, because
Well-
obviously someone's got to pay for the damages.
Yeah, well, we usually rebuild everybody, but, okay, so here's the Ukraine and here's Russia. So right up here in this bay, right, the Ukraine is able to strike them with drones. And, you know, so they don't have to send soldiers up there to make a big impact. So many of the Russians, you know, maybe they don't like the war, but, you know, Putin, he's taken over the news. And if you call it a war, they'll put you in jail.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. It's
So-
so sad.
Yeah, it's been pretty interesting stuff. But I'm darn glad we don't live there.
Oh, my parents are still there
Where?
in Ukraine.
Really? Oh, wow.
My biological parents. I'm adopted, so
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
My daughter's from Russia.
They said it could be
No Robbie in here.
What's that?
No Robbie in here.
No, he went to, Records. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, man, this is torture.
Now that's hot.
Ooh.
Full-on sidekicks.
Ah, the foot-long cookie?
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
man. The rest of the world cannot believe
You
all
need
the
to get
stuff
that for
we
me.
do.
States attack in Iraq.
Down about Israel?
The title Islamic resistance in Iraq is an umbrella title that sort of encompasses a lot of.
So we still have a number of troops, soldiers in Iraq. They are there to help, you know, shore up the government, that kind of thing, help to keep the peace. But Iran is now sending rockets into Iraq and trying to target the bases where our soldiers are. So this has been a problem. They've also been, you know, shelling and trying to steal the ships that go through the Gulf of, the Gulf of Oman, right there by Yemen. And so they've been, you know, taking over so many tankers that it's really bothered the world shipping. So the Navy went in and they bombed probably 60 different sites that in Yemen that had ammunition and, you know, all of that stuff that was supplied by Iran. for the Yemenis. So it's just kind of crazy, that whole area. I don't understand. But it's
Big
dangerous.
difference here. Militia groups which have really grown in strength over the past decade or so, and they've had many times attacked U.S. bases in Iraq and in Syria. I think it was 43 times since Hamas attacked Israel October 7th. That's a lot of attacks. They ramped it up. Why? Because they're proxies for Iran. So this has Iran's fingerprints all over it. What we know from the local mayor who was able to witness this attack on the Ain al-Assad airbase, he saw it from a distance and he said he could see a lot of missiles incoming. Some of them were intercepted by missile defense systems, but some got through. And we understand from the Pentagon that there were injuries among U.S. service personnel. We don't know how many personnel, we don't know how severe. And this is a joint Air Force base, Iraqi military also there, and the Iraqi military say that at least one of their service personnel was injured in this attack. So this really does look like a ramping up, and when you take it in conjunction of what happened in Damascus this morning, you get the sense that this escalation everyone talks about, this is what we may be witnessing here.
So they're, these other countries are trying to,
God dang.
kind of interfere.
A lot of carbon.
While we are distracted while the U.S. is distracted with everything else going on in the world, they think that, they're free to strike us, and the U.S. has not made very many responses to that. So they've just started, and I'll bet you if you see the news tonight, you'll see another attack over there, trying to get rid of these Iraqi proxies. Do you know what a proxy is?
A fake person?
Yes. Think of the word approximate, right? Proxy. So you can't be somewhere, someone can be there for you. So this is Iran trying to hit the U.S. by giving the Houthi rebels in Yemen money and supplies and telling them, go ahead. Hit the U.S. whenever you can.
The last time I saw the news was the hostage exchange.
The hostages, in Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been a while. They were supposed to do something, some more, but I don't know what happened. I mean, the conditions inside, the living conditions inside Gaza are just awful. Hey, guys. Put away, please. I can still see it. Oh my gosh, this is so slow today. All right, so we haven't done much work today, but I'm hoping that you'll be on IXL, and I'm going to check and see where everybody is as soon as I can get this stuff on the computer to do anything. So we're getting ready to take our morning break because we've all worked so hard.
Yeah, I'd say.
For just another minute or two. I think that clock is going a little bit behind.
Do we have a username and password for IXL?
Your username, have you been into IXL before? Okay, so let me make sure that I can put you in.
I just learned we were doing IXL. I was like, oh, kind of fancy.
Yeah. So once I enter you into IXL, your ID, it'll be your ID number.
Okay.
Username.
Yep.
And the password will be student123, all lowercase.
Okay.
When did you come from Ukraine? How old were you?
2 when I was 2.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my daughter was 2. She was almost 3.
Thank you. You're so kind. I love you. Sweet mesquite barbecue. No. You understand what no means, right?
No, I don't. I need help.
What is the expiration on this thing? Do you know?
I no.
Oh, it's just March. I was probably in March. I was screwed.
Oh, I'm screwed.
I
Can I
want
have
to
my chips?
I want to hold on to this until March sort of expires, and then we're gonna
No,
go back to it.
my chips.
Okay, one.
Yes, can I open it?
Open it for me.
I'm not gonna open it now.
Why not?
Ew. I am not eating lunch today.
What's for lunch? Hot, sexy baby. Parmesan noodles, yummy.
Ew.
Steamed carrots, bleh. But Parmesan noodles? Hey, if you're hungry enough, you're gonna eat the stuff.
Beef tips.
Beef tips? Ooh. Which beefy tips are we eating? I don't need a lot. I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a dime.
Stand up, walk around, especially if you've been sleeping choked out.
I'm not thinking I'm actually late.
She's wide awake, wake.
Alex, let's go get your schedule.
Okay.